Good morning, biology students of class 11th. Today I'll be speaking from the first chapter of Diversity of Living World. And this is the first part and the first video in which I'll be teaching you about the importance of biology and why biology is studied by us. If we see the very first definition, what is biology? Biology is broken into two terms, bios, which means life, and logos, which means knowledge. Now, this term was coined by a scientist called Lamarck and another scientist called Treviranus in 1802. And these two scientists, they gave the term biology. So it can be defined as a science devoted to the study of living organisms. What is biology defined as? It's a science devoted to the study of living organisms. I'll be sending you these notes today and the questions that you have to do in your assignment. Biology's usefulness. Why this science is useful to us? This science helps us to understand the structure and functioning of living organisms, which shows a great diversity. Now, what is diversity? There are various kinds of animals found. Small, big, various kinds of shapes and sizes. So, diverse forms of animals are found. There are number of organisms. If we look at number of plant species, today almost 500,000 plus plant species have been identified, and almost over more than 1 million animals species have been identified, and this does not include insects. Insects are excluded. 2 to 3 million species of insects have been identified. You see, there are still certain areas that are unexplored. There are large number of species which remain unexplored, and especially these species which are unexplored are found where, children? In tropical America, Asia, Africa. We see examples, some of the forests in Congo. The forests are so thick they are almost impenetrable by man. So there are so many new species that are living which are still unexplored. You see, every year there are about 1500 new species that are discovered. So we see how fast biology is growing as a science. Now, how do biologists study biology? Single investigator cannot study biology because it involves so many other sciences with it. The organisms need to be divided into various kinds to study each type intensively. That means in great detail. So they need to be classified or divided. Second thing we see here, how biologists study, is by separating investigative approaches or those approaches which are made to find out, they separate them and specializing in one or another of them. Why I say this is, you see, like biologists, there are chemists, then there are physicists, and there are biochemists. There are so many other people of other fields that are helping in biology. So the systems of classification have been developed to classify living organisms for their systematic study. And why their systematic study? It is not only to help organisms which are there in the world to be able to heal them from diseases, but also So many things are found from living organisms that are beneficial to man also. We see that living organisms, the first way of classification was that living organisms, they were classified into two types. They were placed under two fundamental groups. One is called plants, another called animals. Now plant is studied under a discipline called botany, and animals are studied under the subject zoology. Now the second way of classification that is used these days is that the organism is classified into 5 kingdoms. What are these kingdoms? One is Monera, or they are prokaryotes or primitive kind of organisms. Then we come to Protista, and these are eukaryotes, unicellular organisms. These are more modern, and these have a nuclear membrane, whereas prokaryotes do not have nuclear membrane. So we see monerans and Protista. The third kingdom we see is fungi, which show heterotrophic plant-like organisms that depend for food on others. Then we see the fourth kind is plantae, which shows green plants that grow on the face of the earth. Then the fifth one is animalia, or animals, as the name suggests, animalia. This contains animals. Then these kingdoms are further subdivided into smaller categories that we will see later. This gives particular disciplines when we divide these kingdoms further. Let us, for example, look at some of the branches. There are so many others which we will study later, but I've taken as example some of them. Algologists or phycologists. These are those people who study algae. So these are known as phycologists or algologists. Then we see herpetology. There is a branch of biology called herpetology. These are people which study reptiles, exclusively reptiles. Then we see taxonomists. As the name suggests, these people, they are disciplined, and they have devoted themselves to the science of classification of animals and plants. Then we see morphologists. As the name suggests, they devote themselves to the form, external structure of organisms. Then we come to cytologists. These study cell. These are scientists which study the cell. Then we come to physiologists. These are people who study various functions of organisms. Then there are branches like ecologists. These deal with the study of interaction of organisms with each other, not only with each other, how organisms interact, but how they interact with their external environment. So these are ecologists. Then we come to molecular biologists. These people study life in terms of behavior of macromolecules like proteins, nucleic acids, etc. Then what is the relation of biology to other sciences? You see, the biology cannot be studied excluded. It cannot be studied alone. So what is the relation of biology with other sciences? Let us see a few examples. Biology is based on mechanistic view of life. Now what is mechanistic view of life? It is relating to theories which explain the phenomenon of the physical structures and life. That is mechanistic. Thus, we see biology requires knowledge of other sciences like physics, chemistry, and other basic sciences, children. Now, let us look at a few ways how other sciences contribute to the study of biology. Organic molecules and ions are there, and we can study organic molecules and ions with the help of chemistry. Our bodies, the bodies of other organisms are made out of organic molecules and ions. Likewise, we see the properties of atoms, etc., that are found in a body, how these are influenced by energy, gravity, and other physical phenomena which are studied with help of physics. Then we see there are other basic sciences. The knowledge of other basic sciences is required for biology, because what are the reasons? Let us see them one by one. The living organisms are made of inorganic or organic compounds. So we study other sciences too. Likewise, we see that inorganic compounds, for example NaCl, etc., it forms ions in water and thus influences various life processes, not only inside our body of organisms, but also when they are found in rivers, dissolved in rivers where fishes thrive, aquatic animals thrive. So we see inorganic compounds are also studied. Then we see third thing of other sciences, acid and base equilibrium. This maintains the pH of living organisms, which is very important, because living organisms pH or the power of hydrogen should be correct, right in their body, so that they can survive in their environment. Then we see molecules move in and out of the cells by diffusion, osmosis. These are some of the terms we have studied already in chemistry and biology in class 10th. Then we see other properties like cohesion, adhesion, properties of water molecules. You saw these properties when we learned about the ascent of sap in biology in class 10th. These molecules results in surface tension or capillarity, helping in certain life processes. And we know that these were some of the processes which helped in absorption of water from the roots and to help the water climb up the roots and into the xylem vessels. So we see that cohesion adhesion properties study also help in study of biology. Then we see sixth one, energy transfers. How energy transfers from one part of the body to another to give the energy to organisms, and how it's transformed. Not only transferred, but it is transformed. One kind of energy is transformed into another, and this is important for living cells. Then we see that plants and animals, they respond definitely to induced stimulation. For example, how plants, animals, they respond to light, to gravity, etc. We have seen that in some of the study of plant hormones in 10th class. Then we see one of the topics is living organisms. How do we define living organisms? Living organism is primarily a physiochemical material. We can define living organism. It is primarily a physiochemical material that demonstrates or that shows a high degree of complexity and is capable of self-regulation and processes metabolism and also reproduces. So this is the definition of living organisms in short. So children, wish you all the best. Listen to this lecture several times and try to do those assignment questions that I will send you later. So from next time we would be studying about the living organisms and what are the attributes of living organisms, etc. Till then, have a nice day.